Kenny Hill Gardening Simplified. Today we're going to talk about potatoes and sweet potatoes. It's getting to be that time. Time to start thinking about your potatoes. If you're down in the south, of course, we don't plant potatoes till the middle of February. But you got to get your potatoes and you got to make sure they get green sprouted good. And I've got my potatoes here today. Now I buy them by a 50-pound bag, which is probably more than most of your home gardeners would grow. But I take them out of the bag and I put them in milk crates. And what this does is lets them go ahead and green sprout. Some of you might want to use the term chitting like they use in the UK. But in the United States, where we're at, we call it green sprout. And what I'm going to do is get these out of here. I've got 4 varieties right now. I'm going to get them out of here and I'm going to get them into these milk crates. Now I got bag number 1 out, but I want to talk to you about potato size. Now, if you're buying seed potatoes, this is not ideal. Now, when you buy them in bulk, sometimes you don't have as much a choice, but this is more of the size that you would want for a seed potato. Now, I do cut them even when they're this size, but this is more ideal. When you start getting these bigger potatoes like this, yes, they look good, but as far as it takes a whole lot more cutting, and usually you don't have a whole lot more eyes on them. All right, all the potatoes are in the milk crates. We've got them set there and tagged. Now, I want to say a few things about potatoes. Now, when you buy them bulk or however you buy them, now you can see there's a hole in this one. Now, this is a little bit soft. I can feel a little bit of soft pressure. You don't want to figure that's going to stay. Also, this potato here, you see this white, it's like it's maybe got an infection. We don't want it. Now, this one's got a hole in it, but it's good and solid, so we'll leave it in there. But we want to make sure that any bad potatoes we see are on the top where they'll be easy to spot. Now, I've got 4 types here. I'm actually going to be growing 6 different varieties, but these 4 are the main crops. Now, we'll discuss them here, which we have Yukon Gold. Now, a lot of you know Yukon Gold. That's the one they say with the butter built in. It's kind of yellow inside. It's got a nice flavor to it. The only thing I don't like about Yukon Gold is a lot of times it'll get a hollow center or a brown spot in the middle. I don't know if that's from too much water or what might cause that, but that's for when maybe if we mash them or baked potatoes, stuff like that. All of them's good for that, but that's just a little bit better one. And we've got 100 pounds of these, where with the others we only have 50 apiece, but we do have 50 pounds more coming of the red Pontiacs and the Yukon Golds, because this year we're going to try something different. Instead of trying to save some of ours and wait until August to plant a separate second crop, we're going to go ahead and plant our first crop in February, and then we're going to follow up a month later and plant a second crop. And that way we'll have more to bring to market for a longer period. And those are 2 varieties that they like at the market. Now, the Pontiac Reds, which are right here, they look kind of like the red Lesotos. I say Pontiac red Pontiac, like the red Lesotos, but as you notice, the eyes on the red Lesotos are deeper on them than the red Pontiac. The red Pontiac is a little smoother potato. Some of these kind of come close, but they're known for these inset eyes on them. They are a good potato as new potatoes go, or you can cut them up, cook them. You can make mashed potatoes, whatever you like. But out of either one of these. They're both good for that. Now this other one over here, this is Kennebec. Now Kennebec is a firmer potato. The Kennebec makes real good fries because of its firmness. If you're going to, say you're going to roast, make you some Texas fries or some potato wedges or something, and you're going to put them in the oven. That's good. I like to air fry them. But know your different potato varieties, and you might be wanting to plant more than one. Depends on what you want to do. Now, we keep potatoes for a long time because if you refrigerate them, they tend not to grow. Now we have a cooler and we have potatoes in here that's stored up. These on the top are the last of our potatoes. These are Yukon Golds. And then these other potatoes down here, these are some yellow potatoes or gold potatoes that we got from Azure Standard, which are organic potatoes. So we'll have enough to carry through until this crop gets ready. But we were just about running out of ours because we do have limited space in our cooler, being we use it for the farmer's market. But think about it, if you're going to store them, the best way is to store them in a cool place. And they do real good in the cooler, which is set about 38. So it does good that way. But anyway, like I say, potato season's coming up. Put that on your list. Now, if you're up north, I know it's going to be further away. But for those of you that's in the southern zones where it's and where your warm weather starts earlier, like I say, we plant. They say Valentine's Day. I say the middle of February, which is roughly it's the same. And I'm prepared. Now I've got one more batch of potatoes, and we'll go look at them. Now these potatoes here, and they're small. They're small. A lot of these, I have what I call my unconventional method, and I put these little bitty ones in pots so I can sprout them out and make sure they do good. Then when they come up, I can bury them a little bit deeper. These would be all right to go ahead and go in the ground. Those are, and they are turning a little green because they're sitting in the shop with the light. But these are German butterballs, and my potatoes that I got, seed potatoes that I got last year, were they didn't get here until like the middle of April. And by the middle of April, we start getting way too hot where we don't have a time to finish these out. So what happened is they made some potatoes, not very many. So I took what was left, and if you remember back in past videos, I put them in my small greenhouse. And once they started to die down some, I went ahead and harvested them. And that's what we ended up with here. Now these others, and I'm not sure if I put some up inside, but these red ones here, these are French fingerlings. And they're small too, but this is the same situation where my seed potatoes, I didn't have very many. I put them out, grew some more for seed potatoes, and my second crop, because of how hot and dry it was, didn't do good at all. These were actually some that when we dug, we missed, and they started growing later, and this was what they put on, and we kept them. So they don't look like much. It's just little bitty potatoes, but don't throw them out because they will really do good. Now we'll talk about sweet potatoes at the same time. Tucked around back here. Now these were some that we were planning to eat, that we didn't really plan to grow these potatoes, and I'm sure that they will grow. They still look good, but they haven't started, or well, I say they haven't started. Some have started sprouting, but we have a bunch more that's down in this basket it's just small ones, and we put them back. These will be our seed potatoes for our sweet potatoes. I have two different kinds in there. I have some red potatoes that we've saved for a long time, and then the purple ones are Stokes Purple, and that's what most of these are that's growing off in here. And we're just going to stick these back over here too. I put them over there. I didn't get far enough to put them in with the other ones, and I probably just ought to while I'm here. Just set that basket off in there. It doesn't get much light here. We don't have the shop lights on all the time, and we just let them go. It's cooler out here in the shop. Now we do have a few left that we were eating on that are trying to grow too, and some of them probably will go for seed too. But the way we do this, and you need to plan if you're going to grow sweet potatoes, it's a whole lot cheaper to grow your own slips. And there are videos that I have doing that, different methods. I don't use the water method where you put a sweet potato in water. It's a good way to fail because your slips, they might get roots, but they depend on a lot of water, so that it gives them harder or more of a stress when you put them in the ground. But we'll go through that. We're still a couple of months off, almost 2 months away from doing this, but we'll go over that when we start putting our potatoes in the ground. But you need to get prepared. I thank you for watching, and I hope this little reminder video has done some good as far as waking you up and getting you prepared. And today, if you want to see more videos on growing, preserving, or just around the farm, hit that subscribe, hit the bell, select all so you'll be sure and get notified. And of course, give it a big thumbs up and share this video. Enjoy that gardening experience.